What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Tide Talk podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Blackwood, here to have a quick discussion about the offensive line for this 2022 Alabama football team. Of course, Evan Neal is moving on. Chris Owens is moving on. So there's going to be a couple spots open along the offensive line. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Nick Saban and this offensive line kind of plays out in the spring and throughout the summer and then moving into fall camp. So there's a lot to talk about, but first, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and give us a huge thumbs up. And while you're at it, jump in the comment sections and let us know who you think the starting 5 offensive line should be this spring as we head into spring practice. So just jump in the comments and let us know the starting 5 offensive line in your opinion. All right, so let's just talk about a handful of the guys that are going to be in the mix for some of these spots along the offensive line. I think Javion Cohen is probably going to move out to tackle this spring. He's played left guard this past season, but now with Evan Neal moving on, I think Javion Cohen is going to move over to that left tackle spot. So the left guard position is going to be open. You could see a guy like Darian Dalcourt, who lost his starting center position to Seth McLaughlin. He could be in the mix there for that left guard position, but you also could see a guy like Terrence Ferguson, a guy who was a freshman this last season at Alabama, a really highly coveted prospect coming out of high school. So he's a guy that could be in the mix there at the left guard position. And at center, I think it's going to be Seth McLaughlin. It looked like he, kind of wrapped that position up from the second half of the Auburn game on into the SEC championship and the college football playoff. He played really well in those stretch of games. So I think he's locked up that center position. Emil Ekiyor's back at right guard, or you assume he's going to play right guard. He could play either guard position, but for right now, we're going to say he's going to return as the starting right guard. And then you look at the right tackle position. Could it be a guy like J.C. Latham, Tommy Brockermeyer, Amari Kite? There's several guys, Damian George. There's a handful of guys here that could play, that right tackle position. So we're looking right now at a total of 2 spots that we believe are open since Javion Cohen, Seth McLaughlin, and Emil Ekiyor are returning. There's 2 spots that are going to be open. So it's going to be interesting to see how this offensive line shakes up here in spring and then throughout the summer and then moving into fall camp. There's a lot that can happen. Of course, we saw several different mixtures of offensive linemen throughout this past season. So I'm hoping this spring we kind of settle in on the starting 5. Of course, and you have to remember, Kendall Randolph is coming back for another year. He's using that extra COVID year. He's going to come back. He's kind of an offensive lineman, tight end hybrid player. So could he play that tackle position, on the right side? So it's going to be a lot of interesting moving parts here in spring. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a position group that's going to be interesting to follow throughout the spring. So we're going to be here at the Tide Talk podcast to do that. But like I said, I want you to jump in the comment section and let us know who you think the starting 5 is going to be there along the offensive line when we get to spring practice here in just a few weeks. So make sure you jump in the comment section, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, help us reach 100 likes on this video, and we would greatly appreciate that. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Tide Talk podcast. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Roll Tide.